Hey, what's up, people? This is Ike Love, creator and author of the blog The Viable Alternative, which is an inspirational blog where I share the wisdom and insights gained along my path of becoming a greater, stronger version of myself. And if you want to read more on the blog, you can click under the window where it says description and click on the link where it says www.theviablealternative.com. And my apologies again because I did skip another week of doing videos, and I can lay a bunch of excuses, but I just, forget the excuses. I didn't do it, and that was that. And I apologize about that. Aside from that, which is not an excuse I'm giving at all, but it's a convenient excuse, but I'm not giving an excuse, is that, I've just been kind of going through some challenges in my life, which has been taking a lot more of my time. And the last couple of nights when I set out to do a YouTube video, I just wound up falling asleep. And but anyway, but it's funny when I start to do these videos, like when I start to make a video, I realize how much I like actually doing videos. It's so funny. It's like when I'm just out about in my life, I'm like thinking, oh man, I gotta do a video when I go home. But when I actually sit down to do it, I actually like it, which goes to teach you about when we are pursuing our goals, about the importance of consistency, and that we don't necessarily always have to feel like doing it. But if we really have like a passion for it or joy for it, we just got to throw our bodies into doing it, and then we're reminded of the passion we have for that particular activity. But so as of recent, I don't know, as I've been going through my trials and tribulations. And so I've kind of been like forced, I would say forced, so to speak, so I can just stay focused and not get discouraged. I've been listening to a lot of talks and interviews of very successful people, and just studying and learning about like what has brought them, not only brought them through the tough times, but also like how they were able to maintain their focus when they were pursuing extraordinary things. Which leads me to the title of this video, which is why having a chip on your shoulder can actually be a good thing. And I mean, I'm sure it's a common English expression. That person has a chip on their shoulder, which means that person is basically walking around daring for someone to challenge him or fight him, because a person has a lot of baggage and anger and issues from their past, and they carry it around with them, and that drives them now to always be on the lookout for someone to piss them off or challenge them to a fight so they can have an excuse to explode on that person. And we all know those people in our lives, who have these chips on their shoulders, and you either want to avoid them, or some people walk on eggshells around them, but basically speaking, we all have these people in our lives. So it's generally seen as a negative thing, and as it should be, because people who are carrying like baggage from their past in such a way that they're always looking for someone to fight them, it's harming them. It's like when you are behaving in such a way where you're responding or reacting to the baggage you have in you like that, the thing is consuming you. It's affecting you. There's anger that you're holding inside of you that you're not giving a healthy outlet. And that anger is driving you, and it's driving you to behave in certain ways that you don't necessarily choose proactively, but you're reacting to. And oh my God. So yeah. So it's never good when you're controlled by an emotion. It's never good when an emotion is driving you in a negative way. It's never good when you are not in the driver's seat of your life, but the emotion is the one that's driving you to behave in certain ways that are not necessarily helpful to you. So these are cases when having a chip on your shoulder is not a healthy thing, because also when you're harboring any type of emotion like anger and stuff like that, it's not a healthy thing, because it actually, on a physiological level, it blocks you. It just blocks your energy from or it blocks you from different parts or axis of your being in your body, because the mind and body are one. And so when you're having an emotion that's blocking you and everything, or it's held in your body, it's preventing your life force to flow freely, and able to flow freely, or fully and freely. I know this because I've been in now body-oriented therapy for almost 4 years in June. So I've been in the thick of that, But now, as I've been listening to interviews with very successful people who've done great things, they've been able to actually channel or use their chip, the chip that they have on their shoulder, for actually good in their life. They've been able to use it to propel them towards success. So that's why I'm hearing these stories that having a chip on your shoulder can actually be a good thing. How? Why? Well, think about something. Just say you're going after, as they say, some of these circles, a big, hairy, audacious goal. And everybody told you couldn't do it. Everybody says it's not going to happen. You can't do it because A, B, C, and D. You're too big, you're too tall, you're too fat, you're too black, you're too Jewish, you're too this, or you're a woman. You're not good looking enough and everything. And just people made you feel bad about it and everything, And out of that, there's a lot of hurt and anger in you and resentment because of that, Now, one of the ways, the negative way, as I discussed earlier, that you can use it is just carrying your shoulder, just being angry at the world and saying F you to the world, and, going around being hurt and exploding on people for the littlest thing. But the positive way you can use this chip on your shoulder is you take all the hurtful things and the negative things that people all the negative things that hurt you or left resentment in you or made you angry, you take that and you use that to propel you forward to success. And as you are going through these difficult times, you say to yourself, you imagine all those people who've hurt you in the past, and you imagine yourself and you say, you imagine yourself showing them up and saying, I'll show you. So you have the chip on your shoulder now, but you're using it in such a way that you're saying, you know what, man, I'm going to show that bastard that I'm going to make it and make him look stupid for it, I'm going to make him look stupid for what he says. I'm going to make him eat those words. So now, instead of now exploding on other people and reacting to other people, you're using it as fuel now to carry you forward towards your goal. When you're when you're going towards a big goal, you have to be consistent. You have to make sacrifices. You have to do things that people will normally do. You have to pick yourself up after continued disappointment or rejection and failure. And this chip on your shoulder can give you the impetus to do something like that. It'll give you the impetus to get over obstacles that you normally would not be able to get without that chip on your shoulder. You see, you're taking a negative and using a positive. Instead of now being reactionary towards that emotion, you're taking a proactive step by using that emotion, making a conscious decision to use that emotion now to carry you forward to accomplish the quote-unquote impossible. And it brings me back to a memory when I turned 20 years old. When I turned 20 years old, just turned 20 years old, and I had come off a huge depression in my life. I was a miserable bastard throughout a good part of my late teens. All of my good part of my late teens. I was a complete miserable bastard because, I had a lot of pain and anger and hurt and resentment for all the negative things that people said to me when I was, just people had said to me due to my awkwardness of puberty starting from 12 years old. Namely, I had a lot of resentment from people, how people had treated me when I was in private school in 7th and 8th grade. But also, generally speaking, I was just very hurt and angry because, at that time, I had no game with girls. And I used to watch my friends get all the girls. And I used to get rejected. And just, at 20 years old, I had come to certain revelations that had kind of like started shifting my mindset. And one of the revelations was that I was a unique being, just like all my friends I looked up to, that I had my own unique gifts and resources, and that I could have my own unique success with it. That was one of the things that shifted my mindset from being a victim. The second thing, 6 months later after I had that realization, was that I can appoint my own self the right to be successful. And to me, the success at that time was getting girls, right? So you know, after that, I took the next step of now taking action. You know, I watched my friends, I watched what they did, and I went and took action so I can have success like they did. And, you know, to get over the doubt and the things that people said said to me in the past that I internalized, I will now, I took all that hurt and resentment and I used it as a fuel for me to step out of my comfort zone and deal with the rejection, deal with the failure, deal with the fear. I imagined myself, I imagined all the people who had said the negative things about me, and I was saying, well, look at me now, you know? Look at me now, you bastards, you know? I kind of said that, and that was like the fuel that kind of drove me forward to actually eventually get the life that I wanted to, that I set out to achieve, you know? And I did eventually become successful with girls and, you know, women and everything like that when I was 20. And again, what was the one of the deciding factors was that I used this chip on my shoulder. Instead of being a victim like I had in the past, instead of saying I hated people and I did, you know, I had all this stuff and, you know, woe is me, I said, you know what? No, I'm going to imagine everything that anybody has said to me negative in the past, and I'm going to now imagine myself doing the exact things they said I was too much of a loser to do, or was too ugly to do, or too uncool to do. I imagined what they said. I imagined as showing them up, that I was proving them wrong. I was like, you know, this, you know what I mean? A big, you know, middle finger to all those people. And it helped, you know? It kind of empowered me, you know? And again, I wasn't letting those, like, the anger and hurt and the bitterness and or anger, hurt, and resentment, I wasn't letting it consume me anymore. I was letting it bring me towards my goals. And, you know, if you are a woman and people told you couldn't do something because you're a woman, or you are, you know, black or Hispanic or Jewish, and people shut you out of certain things because of your ethnicity or your race, or you have a certain type of disability, or you just look a certain way, and people shut you out of certain things, they want to lie into certain corners, so now you decide to go and build your own. This chip on your shoulder you have against these people that discriminated against you can be used now for you to accomplish now, quote unquote, the impossible, for you to take your destiny in your own hands, for you now to go and step out of your comfort zone continuously, for you to overcome failure after failure that you may face, for you to overcome the rejection, for you to overcome the discouragement, for you to continue keeping on through the hardship, for you to stay consistent, for you to make the sacrifices. Just imagine all the people that rejected you in the past and visualize yourself making it anyway, proving them wrong, making a fool out of them, you know? Now, again, there has to be some realism in this, you know, when you're doing all this, you know? In realistic, maybe the people that were discriminated against you or rejected you, they don't really care about your existence. They don't care about what you're doing. They don't care about what, you know, they just don't care, you know? So we just, you know, we mustn't just go the extra mile, delude ourselves that these people are thinking about us. But if we have a balanced type of view on this whole thing, you can just imagine in your head that they care about you because you have the emotional charge, and that will be enough to push you forward, you know? So, you know, if a certain woman you dated in the past dumped you or cheating on you with your best friend, or, you know, that dude you're with now is married to your best girlfriend and everything like that, you know? Yeah, and you're, you know, you have a goal to, like, lose weight or get into shape. Imagine yourself looking good in front of this person and showing that person up, and look at me now and stuff like that. Imagine yourself showing that person up can propel you to your goal, you know? Just imagine that. It can propel you to your goal. But like I said, don't go to the extreme now and think they will actually may care. They may not care. But the fact of the matter is that if you can imagine them caring, it can be good enough. So, that being said, I hope I beat the horse to death of how having a chip on your shoulder can actually be a good thing, be a positive thing, using in life. I think, you know, it's important that we use whatever we can in a healthy way to propel us towards achieving our goals. Because I'm learning, as of recent, man, life is very short and tomorrow's not promised. And so because, you know, tomorrow's not promised, you know, and it's just this world's a great place where a great many things can be accomplished and where huge dreams can be achieved and realized. You know, a cousin of mine told me, who does business internationally, the world is your oyster. And, you know, I was too messed up to see it, but now I'm really seeing it. And so we should take whatever tools we have and use them into now accomplishing the extraordinary. I'm going to be putting out more videos on this subject because, you know, in my own trials and tribulations, I'm just seeing the bigger possibilities. Anyway, I hope all this helps. Please go on my website, read more of my blogs. I have not updated it recently, but I will start again because I'm going to be writing an ebook soon. So you can click on www.theviablealternative.com. You can also follow me on Twitter, TheViableAlt. If you like what I had to say in this video, please click on like. Please share also if you believe or feel that someone can benefit from this. And if you like and you want to hear more videos of this, you can also, or like these, you can subscribe. Anyway, I got to get out of here. It's late. So take care. God bless and peace.